The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, we're breaking down the all-22 film from the Jets and the Steelers. What went right? What went wrong for the Jets? We cover all that and much more. Joe Blewett from JetX will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
I'm not into moral victories. You will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. If you missed it, Joe Beningo joined us for the first of many weekly segments. They will normally be on Mondays. For today only, Joe joined us on a Tuesday. So listen back to that if you haven't watched. A reminder to join my Patreon. If you haven't done so already, you get bonus shows like one I dropped earlier today, your name added to the intro, discounts year-round in my merch store, access to our Discord, and a whole lot more. Go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show, and you could be a part of our Asmaniac community on Patreon. With that said, let's talk all things New York Jets. And joining us right now is someone who is as good at breaking down film as anyone out there. He does it for JetX, JetsXFactor.com. He's a good friend of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Blewett joins us now. Joe, I know you're battling through the voice, giving you some trouble after screaming and yelling at MetLife on Sunday. So appreciate you still being willing to come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna apologize now for the voice cracks and sounds like I'm whispering sweet nothings to people, but I had to represent the 52% of Jets fans there, so the voice is always kind of gone until about Wednesday. So as long as you guys can deal with it, I'm cool with it.
Was that what it felt like being there? It felt like it was basically 50-50 with the split.
Yeah. I think I tweeted out like 55-45, but yeah, about 50-50, which isn't odd for Steelers fans. They travel really well. Obviously, the rain seems like it rains at least half the Jets games I go to, which is wild. But the Jets fans were loud. You know, they made some noise. Unfortunately, the Jets couldn't come out with the victory, but yeah, have to represent. So struggling a little bit, but need to get the film out there. So here we are.
Here we are. We're going to make it happen. And before we even get into the film, I know you went back, you watched the whole game, you broke down some of the top plays, and we'll go through some of that. After watching the film, and of course you were there, do you feel better or worse about this result, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I would say better, right? Because I think most people, I don't want to put words in your mouth, expected the defense to be better than the offense, but for it to be flipped on its head and the offense to be in all these top 5 numbers, you know, of this week, and you know, Justin Fields with his EPA and all this stuff, the defense I think will get better. You know, they have too much talent on the defense to be, you know, as bad as they were. We'll go through the film. A lot of it was tackling, a lot of it was just straight up coverage bust. As long as they get their crap together, they should be at least, you know, a solid defense. And it's a thing where new coaching staff, new regime, first game, okay, they're probably going to have some type of coverage bust. So I'm not super concerned about it week 1. If this is week 9, week 10, we'll be having a different conversation. But I expect the defense to definitely bounce back. Obviously, we'd like to walk out with the victory, but in terms of the trajectory of the team, I would still say it's still pointing upwards after this game.
That's good to hear. All right. So, Joe, we're going to let you kind of take us down any path you want to go when we start things off here. Joe's going to share on his screen some of the plays that he thinks are the most pertinent to break down for everyone to see. If you have a question throughout any of this, super chat it in. That is the best way for us to stop what we're doing and respond. And we'll do some Q&A with Joe, of course, at the end of the film review. But, Joe, I'm putting up on the screen right now the first play. We all can now see what's happening, and you're in full control. Take it away.
Yeah. We'll do. We're gonna do like 3 plays from Fields, few from the offensive line, few from the defensive bust, and this is the touchdown to Garrett Wilson, and it's a pretty simple one. I do want to show in the beginning, there's a lot of movement here, but what Justin Fields sees pre-snap here is 3 high, right? So we have 1 high, 2 high, and they're showing 3 high to this side as well. He actually checks the play before, checks the play as they motion. He changes it again. 3 high, they run a Yankee concept, which is going to be, you can call this a Yankees or overs. Yankee is technically a post and a deep over. These are both deep overs. So if you want to call it overs, that's completely fine. But it's a perfect call versus cover 3 because especially versus cover 3 or even single high, but specifically cover 3 because both of these corners are going to have outside leverage. Both of these receivers are running inside breaking routes, so they should have leverage to the way they're running the route. And then this safety's put in a tough spot, and he has to jump on either the post or the over or one of the overs and leave the other overs. And Justin Fields knows that, and he checks to it. And then this is when you're going to see the touchdown from getting this play too. And again, I keep playing it over and over again so you guys can watch. But it's Membu, the right tackle, using an overlap technique here. He gets into his pass set. You have this defensive, I think it's a defensive end. You have this defensive end threatening. As soon as he drops back into coverage, what an overlap technique is, basically he tags Tippmann, letting Tippmann know, hey, my guy vacated. I got help to your right here. And watch how Tippmann reacts to it. He feels that tag, immediately goes to his left to then look for other threats while Membu picks that up. It's very subtle, but it's very good for a rookie to be recognizing things like that. Okay, overlap technique. Now you can assist. You have Simpson, who gets blown up a little, gets worked back a little bit. He's able to save the play, but he creates some pressure. Justin Fields, finds that play on 3rd and 10, by the way. So
wow,
another excellent play from Fields.
Great blitz pickup by Isaiah Davis there too.
Oh yeah, that's something I mentioned on Twitter too. A lot of stuff going on, but Isaiah Davis stepping up. In pass protection, he played well in pass protection last year, and even Breece had a few good reps in this game of pass protection. But Isaiah Davis, a gun to my head, I think Isaiah Davis is probably your best pass protection guy on 3rd down, and you saw that a little bit in the preseason as well. They started to put him in there on 3rd down situations. So good note on that one. So
that's a great observation with the subtle thing that Membu did with Tippmann. Like the average fan is not noticing that. I think that stuff is so cool, kind of inner workings on O-line. And to me, that's just better coaching, right? This O-line had a plan. Keith Carter's not there anymore. I give a lot of credit to Steve Hyden. I mean, they lose AVT on Tuesday of game week, and the O-line looked like they've been playing together for 10 years on Sunday.
Yeah, no, for a rookie to be throwing overlap techniques, and there's even some stuff, and I get into the full review, but drag, like there's some drag techniques too, which is a similar thing, but it's more just his hand kind of floating out to the left to feel that B gap while not necessarily committing to it. So he was doing that. The overlap is great. I do think the offensive line coach is easily better than Keith Carter, which isn't saying much, but still, yeah, this first game I already saw some evidence that they're just a better coached unit.
That's excellent. All right, here we go. Next play, right?
This is a play. He's making to look a little bit, or he's looking to make a little bit more happen on this play. I believe maybe this is later on in the half. You have the Steelers who are playing pretty soft coverage here, and you do have 2 guys open underneath here that Fields could hit with some pressure in his face, but he's looking to make a little bit bigger of a play, and the play doesn't end up being huge here, but you like the movement in the pocket, keeping the eyes downfield, and eventually finding Garrett Wilson on the sideline. And we'll talk about it off the jump. There's really, there's nothing open here, right? You have a deeper route, guy. You have 2 deeper guys. I believe is there a route down? Yeah, there's a route down here, completely covered. You have this in break, which there's a guy over the top, guy in the middle, hard window to hit, especially with some pressure in your face. So decides to step up in the pocket. And then eventually find Garrett Wilson. But you just like the pocket manipulation from Fields. I don't think recover it. The Steelers have 2 fumbles. We don't recover either one and drop 2 picks. One being Michael Carter. That was much harder than Brandon Stevens. But of course, it's the Jets. But again, keeping the eyes downfield, there's really nothing there that he wants. Again, could go shorter, but he's looking for a little bit more.
There's 19 seconds left in the quarter before halftime, by the way. That's why he's not taking the check down. He's trying to get downfield to get in field goal range.
Yeah. No, okay, perfect. Yeah, 19 seconds. You don't want to throw that ball in bounds either. So now you get the ball out of bounds, stop the clock. I'm not sure exactly how many timeouts they had, but and another excellent job by him, just keeping the eyes downfield. And in terms of the offensive line too, like looking at again our 2 guys in Fashanu And Membu here, Fashion is not in a great spot. Like we like the fact that he throws that fake punch right there, which is something he's added to his game too. He didn't do that a ton last year, but he's already flashing that. He gets caught in not the most ideal situation with that spin move coming. He gets knocked off your spot. So I really like the recovery from him right there to drop his post really quickly, flatten out that edge rusher, which I believe is Highsmith 56. I believe he is.
Yep.
And then Membu, another situation where he's overtaking a block. Like you're talking about a rookie here. And the one thing, and I'm not sure if I said it on this show, I'm not sure if I came on this show after the Jets drafted or not, but there's definitely a misconception about Membu. He was a better pass protector than a run blocker in college. Like it's undoubtable. So I was not surprised that he's been really good in the pass game. But this is another one where you have a good chip from Taylor, and right now he's not engaged. So why not slide back in, shuffle back inside, help Tippmann out? Show that active drag hand, get your hand on while also watching your edge threat, getting hands on, assisting him. And then as TJ Watt approaches, he gets a hand on TJ Watt and gives,
lead a team to 32 points every week. But like, are we going to see, some consistency with some of the things that Engstrom was calling and Fields was able to execute?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there was anything overly complicated. I think the Jets are going to lean on the ground game like they did, right? Breece Hall, 5.7 yards per carry. I said it in the offseason, Breece had to be injured last year. Like he, regardless of the vision, the runs, setting up the runs, like he just looked like a more elusive player. In this game, he looks like he did in his rookie year, So he was battling a knee injury, I believe, last year, and it just slowed him down. The acceleration numbers were down, the explosion numbers were down. Obviously the yards after contact were down. He just looked like a different player. So you add Justin Fields to that run game, and you run him 5, 6 to 10 times a game. It takes that extra defender, out of the box for Breece. So you're going to rely on that. They didn't take a ton of deep shots. Obviously they hit Garrett Wilson, but they were just efficient short. They did hit quite a bit of passes, 10 to 20 yards in this game. It seemed like a lot of the offense was a lot of motion, obviously Garrett Wilson moving all around the field, but a lot of it was, 2 reads, get to your check down. And that's really all you need to do. Like, don't overcomplicate it with a team that, can run the ball the way that the Jets, don't, this is, I don't know if it's going to be him every single game. Like for my sake, obviously I hope it is, but this is about as good of a start as you can get. I would say a B+, A- game from him. There were some read options he kept, he shouldn't have. There was some balls that were behind guys or some balls that weren't thrown, but I would say like an A- game for a guy who we don't have the highest expectations of, right? But if he plays like this every game, he's going to be the quarterback in 2026 at the minimum. So
yeah, I'll tell you what, if I knew Fields was capable of playing like this every game, my win total prediction would have been 6 or 7 wins. I mean, it changes everything if he's that good for sure. Joe Blewett,
maybe we can catch a break.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Certainly would be nice. Joe Blewett with us here, co-owner of Jets X Factor, does the film reviews for years now, as good as anyone at it, as you guys have seen so far. Let's do something awesome for the community. Ladies and gentlemen, a Jets jersey giveaway at the end of the stream. If you want to get a Justin Fields jersey or a Garrett Wilson jersey or a Sauce Gardner jersey or a JJ jersey or a Quinnen or Quincy jersey, gift away to enter our daily raffle at the end of the show. And for those who missed it, congrats to the winners of raffle 39, our weekly raffle series. We gave those out earlier. Now we're on to raffle number 40, and we're starting it off with a bang. Our weekly prize, our top prize, is a signed Justin Fields jersey, a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey, and a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. So 3 current Jets signed jerseys by each of those players are our top weekly prize in the raffle for next week. Joe, with that said, let's get into the offensive line now. You got some clips for us, and I think a lot of people who have been waiting and waiting for the Jets to finally have a good O-line are going to be very pleased with what you show.
Yeah. Only 2 from the offensive line because the other ones kind of showed the offensive line as well. But a really good pass set here from Fashanu. And I think the Jets have their bookend tackles. So let's play it through. Him against Alex Highsmith again here on this play. Okay, yeah, there you go. I don't know why it took so long to start playing that, but really good from him in terms of patience. So the Jets run play action. So he takes a little bit more of an aggressive set at Highsmith because he's faking that play action, right? Highsmith is expecting hands here because Fashanu closes ground to him quick. Fashanu knows that, so he pulls the hands away, so his outside hand is not getting chopped right here, giving Highsmith the softer edge. lands the left hand into the chest, the right hand into the hip, and then drives him up the arc vertically. It's really, really good in terms of the hand placement, the patience, specifically the hand placement with that right hip. If you're really trying to create movement on a guy, if you get your hand high on them, guys are strong enough where they could kind of absorb upper body contact. When you start pushing ribs and hips, that's your center of mass. That's where you try to create movement, and landing resets, the vertical sets, the aggressive sets, the circle punches, the fake punches, all that stuff. So a relatively simple play from Fashanu, but a play that shows off some of the ability as a pass protector. And I'm also going to show one of Membu. I know they've been floating around a little bit on Twitter, like him handling TJ Watt on quite a few plays, which was obviously awesome. But let me, okay, yeah, I just pulled up a play. Membu versus
Joe,
TJ Watt.
Before you pull up that clip, Dylan Terraman's watching the show, and he goes, I'm literally watching that play on film. Do you consider that play action of RPO, backside bubble by Smith also? This is in reference to the clip you just showed of Olu.
The clip I just showed of Olu. Hold on, I want to pull it up on my side and look at the RPO. The only problem with the RPO there that I see from my end is that he's looking the opposite way. So what is he reading on that bubble side to make it an RPO for him to not hand that ball off? I think it's just another option. I think it's just an option on the backside right there. So yeah, I don't think it's an RPO on that bottom side, but that's just looking at it really quickly.
All right, now to the Membu play that you have for us.
Yeah, like the ball's not snapped, and he's already taken a step into the backfield. So I think he should have been flagged for this one. Nonetheless, he's not. They don't catch them all. But what Membu does here is really impressive. One, you have one of the best edge rushers, one of the most explosive edge rushers, illegally getting off the ball, in my opinion, already having a step on you. So he knows at this point he can't keep his hip square to the line of scrimmage and fire out of that stance and get into a true vertical set. So he has to open up pretty much immediately. And then what he does here is really smart. So he works out to Watt quickly. He flashes that hand, but he knows at this point, Watt's probably going to try to, again, chop that hand down, wipe the hand away to then soften the edge to turn that corner. He pulls the hand away and then uses the hug technique on him just to contain him, just to get hands on. And as he does that, he sinks into his base. He grabs the shoulder pad. And again, I think you guys can see my screen. Like initially when you punch a guy, like you tend to be like thumbs kind of in or thumbs even out a little bit like this. But what you want to do is grab them and turn them up. A lot of the run game is not push. It's not a lot of this. A lot of not the run game, or actually the run game too. A lot of the pass game is actually lifting guys and getting under your scapular muscles in your back, and just unlocks more power, sinks into that base, has hands on him. He tries to flatten out, knowing how to do it too. Like and you hear people say it. There's holding on every play, because if there wasn't, there would be a sack on every play. Like there's legal holding and there's illegal holding. If you're on the back of a guy, if you're all extended out and you're kind of and you don't have him cinched up nice and tight, they're going to call it more holding. But the fact that he worked into him, again, sank into his anchor, kept nice tight arm angle, nice 90-degree angle, they're not going to call it. So it is a fantastic job by a rookie to not only just beat TJ Watt, to pancake him, but also on a play that he jumped early. Like that should be a penalty. He got off the ball early there, and faking the punch to make him swat down on that is, and again, I'm not saying he's a Hall of Fame player yet or anything like that, but that is top-notch stuff for a rookie. Like that's something you'd see a 10-year veteran do, not a rookie. So I really couldn't be more impressed with Membu, and specifically on that play.
On the route there, did Ramsey just shut down Reynolds, or was Fields late on that throw?
Yeah, I don't think he was super late. I think he had maybe been a tad bit earlier. I think Ramsey did a good job of playing that. I know some people say that Reynolds should have caught that ball, but it squirted through Ramsey's hands. It's a lot harder said than done when you're actually on the field. So maybe 3 or 4 throws where I have like slight criticisms of him. But overall, again, obviously great. Offensive line, great. It's crazy that we have this many positives, and we're talking about 0-1. So horseshoes and hand grenades, right? But you have to take away some positives, obviously. Walking out of the stadium cheering as loud as I did, I'm pissed off too. But there's an upward trajectory for a lot of the young guys. So obviously, good in that aspect. That's the silver lining.
I'm not going to ask you to do all the negatives here, but I actually have been playing a couple of these clips on hold. I'm just going to show you on the screen here. What the heck is Stevens doing on this blown coverage here? I mean, how does this happen for a guy who's on a second contract and got paid $36 million?
Yeah, so this was actually one I was gonna pull up. If you want to, I can just pull it up on my side actually.
Go ahead. If you have defensive plays, we can go through it. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I do. Let me just find what play that is exactly. I forget that's 41 or 40. Okay, so that's 43. This is the point. Like, so, and I'll pause it on my. Did you just? I think
I was just rolling it. Yep. Now it's on your end. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like, I can show you the missed tackles, right? Michael Carter missed the tackle. Brandon Stevens dropped the pick. Michael Carter the second dropped the PC. I believe it's Tony Adams dropped down. So you see drop down. So now you have a situation where it's probably Tony Adams on Calvin Austin with Brandon Stevens on the wide tight end right here. But then once he motions back, you have miscommunication from the defense because in my eyes, hey, this tight end's still outside. Stevens should still probably be on him. So is this a Stevens thing or an Adams thing? Like, it's very hard to know exactly what their rules are in that situation because he was initially in man coverage on the tight end. So who is it on? Again, the coaches will obviously sort that out. And there's some situations where where you're looking at, like, again, nerdy stuff like top hat coverages or, first in, first out type stuff. This one, it's hard to know whether it's going to be him or Adams. Now, Adams, stayed with his guy and Stevens panicked, but it could have been Stevens making up for Adams. So those guys got to get that figured out on that play because all it was the motion. And that's why, like, motion, and the Jets ran plenty of it in this game. Little things like that can win you a game because if there was no motion there, you got man, there's no confusion, but just that little movement there created the touchdown for the Steelers. So it's something that the Glenn defense has to get figured out.
Yeah, it's just there's just so many of that, and then the drop picks we talked about. I've been playing them on a loop. I mean, the Carter one's a tough play, but Michael Carter's made tougher plays than that in his career. And then like the lack of the pick six that Stevens would have had. I mean, the look on Jermaine on the TV copy, it's like, dude, the game's over. And Rodgers is not slaying the Jets and sticking it to Aaron Glenn. The whole narrative's different. There's a pick six with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the Jets win.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I watched that play and just like paused it and looked at the green grass because I know like on Twitter, but he's on pace for 34 sacks right now. So we'll take it.
Take half that. That works for me.
Dude, I did a review of him in the offseason. Like, there is no, and I'm not saying he is a 20-plus sack guy a year, but if you added power to his game and you saw the bull rush on this game during this game for a sack, he has high teens, low 20 sack potential. I'm not saying that he's going to get there because that's Hall of Fame level stuff, but he has no physical limitations in terms of that stuff. So I could see him getting 15 plus sacks this year. I'm not even just trying to hype him up, but like, he has everything in his arsenal now, especially if he adds that bull rush. So just wild. I know Sabo did. I believe he put one of these out on JetX, an article, maybe YouTube as well. But this is one, it's impossible to tell, but it's just another example of the Jets blowing a coverage. It looks like they're in cover 3 here. You got Sauce to the bottom, like zone turned pre-snap. You have Brandon Stevens zone turned pre-snap, and you have Michael Carter in the slot on this receiver, and you have a situation where the Steelers run a play action. Michael Carter looks like he's passing it off. Now, who is he passing it off to? It could have been a cut type defense, and a cut type defense if he was he would be in man coverage, and if this receiver were to cut quickly across the field, you have the safety drop down, and then you'd have Michael Carter the second then replace his zone backwards. It doesn't look like that, so it could have been a linebacker too. Like, it looks like the linebackers may have been. You have both of them approaching the line of scrimmage right here. You might have had like a funnel type of defense where running back breaks to the right. It's Quincy. If the running back breaks to the left, it's Sherwood, who's right on the hash, the bottom hash right there. Both of those guys are looking at the running back, don't pick it up, and then you have an easy touchdown for the Steelers. So can't blow coverages versus a vet, and Rodgers doesn't have his legs anymore, but he still has his brain. So just gifting him, big plays like that.
Yeah, Rodgers, literally the biggest plays of the game all happened when he just exposed a mistake the Jets made and just took full advantage of it.
Yeah, that, and like the thing with Brandon Stevens too, like the not the blown play, but it's something I talked about. And I did a 70 play review of him. I think 30 of those plays, I said exactly how he should change his technique in terms of playing balls. And one of the plays, he got beat by Calvin Austin. He doesn't change it. If you have a receiver who's looking back for the ball and he's looking back for about 5 to 7 yards, at that point, you can't look back for the ball. You just have to play through the receiver's eyes, play through his hands. You can't look back. And if you watch Brandon Stevens play, literally all you have to do is just look how many times after 5 to 7 yards he looks back to the ball. He looks back to the ball the last second and the ball goes over his head. Just stop looking back for the ball. If the receiver's looking back for 5 to 7 yards, just play through the hands and he'd be so much better. So I don't know why. Are they coaching that? Is he not taking to the coaching? I don't know, but just something as simple as that would be a huge fix for him. So
I thought he had a good
but
camp too, Joe. Like, I thought like over this, like I didn't like the deal at the time. I questioned it like everyone else, but I'm like, if we can't trust Aaron Glenn when it comes to cornerback evaluation, like what can we trust him on, right? So, and then he has a good training camp, and I'm like, okay, maybe they found something here. They see a talent that they're going to coach up for their system. The leash has got to be pretty short. I know he got paid, but like you took AZ Thomas in the 3rd round. Like if Brandon Stevens stinks it up against the Bills on Sunday, like I'm ready to see AZ Thomas. I'm not going through growing pains with a guy on his 2nd contract. This is not a one-off. This is who he's been in his career.
Yeah, no. He always has sticky coverage, but if you can't play the ball, you can't play the ball. And it's not necessarily like ball, like I wouldn't call it ball skills. It's just knowing how to play the receiver based on the rep you're currently in. So 5 receptions, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns.
This doesn't count, by the way, the PI that he got away with at the end of the game and the penalty that did get called on him. So like it was even worse than what these numbers show you on the screen, which were terrible anyway.
Yeah. It's just it's a thing where AZ Thomas was a guy who, based on a bogus 40, he ran like a high 4.5, right? I think he really plays like a low 4.5, high 4.4 guy, but he's a guy who probably should have been like a 2nd round pick at the minimum. So I guess we'll see what happens with Stevens. If he keeps playing like this, then I think it'd be worthwhile to at least try AZ Thomas. But it's like one of those things where we want it, but at the same time, like the Jets, are they going to factor in, hey, we gave this guy a 2-year contract, we gave him all this money, like how much does that factor in? Or is Glenn going to be true to his word? Like, hey, if you lose this games, it doesn't really matter. We're going to play the best players, but obviously we have some time to see if that actually comes to fruition. So
Jamie and Sherwood's name was on there. I know the next play you got here is Sherwood making a mistake. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So this is another one where you have right off the jump, you got Cisco and man coverage on, I believe that's 85. You got Stevens on this receiver, which I believe is Calvin Austin. You have ball 41 in coverage on this Y tight end who's attached to the line of scrimmage, and then you have it's probably like a funnel situation where if the running back breaks out to the right, it's going to be Sherwood. If he breaks out to his left, to Quincy's right, it's going to be Quincy. And you have Sherwood who gets sucked up by the play action and a wide open route in the flat to Jaylen Warren, like stuff that can't be happening. The talent that they do have, on top of giving the coaching staff some wiggle room in terms of like, hey, new team, all this stuff. They can't be this bad every week, right? So this should not be happening all season, and I don't anticipate it happening.
I mean, Sherwood's one of the smartest players on the team too, so it's like I don't know how that happens there, they went up against Rodgers every day for 2 years. Like it's play action. That's what he does. He loves the play action. It's so frustrating watching this back. It really is.
Yeah, same thing with the play with the linebackers, with Michael Carter getting beat. Linebacker Sherwood most likely, matches him.
Joe Blewett is our guest. As you guys can see, he is the man. Andrew says, Joe, best breakdown, the weekly segment. He's schooling Peas. Joe and I were talking off air. So, Joe, I think some people know this, maybe not everyone. You're a police officer. That is your full-time job. So we are going to work around the law enforcement schedule to try and get you on as much as possible this season.
Yeah, if I can make it, the next 16 weeks, I'll try. I'll try my absolute best. Maybe I'll miss a week or two, but yeah, as long as Jake offers me some flexibility, then hopefully I'll be here almost every week, breaking down some key players, some key plays, and all of that stuff. Jake, I can hear you though. My AirPod, I'm on 9%. Can I go grab a charger real quick and I'll come back for some questions, whatever else you want to do?
You are all good, Joe. You do the quick swap there. In the meantime, let me tell people that we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Jets Bills on Sunday. Here's the latest look at the line. Jets are 7-point home dogs. You can get them on the money line at plus 260, which means if you bet $100 on the Jets to win, you could win $260. The over-under is set at 45.5 So it's lower than what the total was. Actually, no, the Jets total was 37.5. What am I saying? I thought it was 48 in my head. So it's, a game that.
Again, I think it's going to be simple. Like I don't think the Jets are going to have some high octane like Lions type of offense. I think it's just going to be a thing where they continue to run the ball and make teams beat them that way. It's what I'm not saying they are the Eagles, but it's a similar formula that the Eagles use. Have a quarterback who can run and just for lack of a better term here, pound the ball down people's throats. And I think they're going to do that pretty consistently. And eventually they'll build off of concepts. It'll be a thing where they'll continue to run a corner route. And then eventually that's going to be a corner post. They're going to do some stuff like that after people start to study them and build up off of their concepts that are successful. So I don't think you're going to see so many new wrinkles this week. Probably later on in the season, you'll start to see them again, add some wrinkles. Just you're going to be anticipating people guessing what they're going to do. Okay. On 3rd and 4, they always like to run this stick concept, and they run something different because they know you're going to be in the defense for that stick concept. So we'll see how they adjust. But like you said, I know they have Derrick Henry, who's a little bit different of a runner than Breece Hall. But listen, like at the end of the day, and I was very down on Breece Hall last year because just realistically he wasn't good. Like he dropped the ball out, fumbles, all this stuff, didn't look as explosive. But that Breece Hall from last week was the OG Breece Hall. So if he is what he was his rookie year, you're looking at a top 10 running back with a quarterback who at the bare minimum is a top 3 running quarterback, right? It's probably him. It's him, Daniels, Allen, and Lamar, right? Undoubtedly, unquestionably, your top 4. So on the ball on them, and it's possible. Listen, if we could beat them with Zach Wilson, we could beat them with Justin Fields and how this offense operated. So,
I mean, the Jets have won 2 of the last 3 games at MetLife against the Bills. They lost last year, obviously, in a Greg Zuerlein and Tyron Smith and the Red Line incident game. Jeff Ulbricht's debut as the intern, that went swimmingly. So let's see if the Jets can make it 3 out of the last 4 years. They can win at home against Buffalo. Larry wrote in, what did you see from Stevens? Larry, I know you've been watching, so we covered that. Not good. Mickey says Tony Adams is very similar to Xavier Gibson. One good play, picking off Hurts, we've somehow let this guy be our starting safety for 3 years. He sucks. I mean, let me ask you this in relation to Tony Adams. I would love to see Malachi Moore out there. Do you think Glenn would be willing to make that big of a change this early on in the year?
Yeah, I do. It's not like Tony Adams is some like entrenched starter, a guy who was like a 1st-round draft pick. Obviously, being UDFA, the only question I'd have with Malachi,
these things lose you games. Like that can't happen.
Yeah, it's and again, like it's not even like we're asking them to do anything crazy. This is pretty like elementary football. Like it's things you learn in high school. If you don't have a lot of room to the sideline, if you're within 3, 4, 5 yards of the sideline, okay, use that sideline as an extra defender and drive them out of bounds. But when you're that far away from the sideline, you got to take an angle, outside in or at least over the top so he has to cut back in because you have no pursuit coming from the sideline. Like there is no Mike Tomlin tripping Jacoby Jones there. It has to be a thing where Sherwood's going to come from the inside and bring him down. So an awful play. Like they just capitalize on so many busted tackles, drop picks. The Quincy tackle out of bounds was also on 3rd down as well, I believe. And maybe even if it wasn't, you extend the drive, give them 15 yards, put them in a better field position. So the Jets just shot themselves in the foot this game on defense. And again, first game, vet quarterback. You have a few weeks to pick it up. Again, week 9, this is a different conversation, and we gotta criticize the coaching staff.
Man with a rake in our Justin Fields jersey raffle for one. Thank you, man with a rake. Big fella says, please add Membo to the jersey raffle repertoire. Big fella, I will see what I could do there. Purple Belt Mike in the house. He says Jets have 3 offensive linemen for the next 10 years with 2 being tackles. Imagine Fields is the guy at quarterback for 10 years too. Do you believe we'll get Arian Smith involved? By the way, PBM on Sunday, just so you know, Joe Blewett, called into my postgame show and said the season's over. Then yesterday he called in and says, I love Aaron Glenn. I think we have a coach. And now today, the Jets now have 3 offensive linemen for the next decade, and now he's picturing Justin Fields being our guy at quarterback for another 10 years as well. Mike, never change. You're the man. You are such a Jet fan. I love it. And as far as his actual question here to you, Joe, Arian Smith, I believe he only played 6 snaps on offense on Sunday. Your thoughts on his potential role going forward?
Yeah, I think I've seen some clips of you, Jake. So I don't think you're you've never had a post game blow up. I know I have as well. So I get it with you said PBM. Dude, there's been so many times like after the game, you're drinking all day and stuff. I'm driving on the bus. So I'm like, I'm quitting this. I don't want to do this crap anymore. All this stuff. So I get it. Again, there's a lot of positives. It's hard to take the L, but a lot of the young guys played well. The quarterback played well. We've seen anemic offense for our entire lives pretty much at this point. So to see them be at the top of all these offensive rankings and stuff, it's positive, and they won't have this many missed tackles and all these blown coverages that we just saw. So again, I have some faith. 3 offensive line for the next 2 years. Yeah, you have Tippmann.
10, he wrote 10.
Next 10. Yeah, we'll see. They landed Arian Smith and right off the jump, and it's good that I have a lot of receipts because with the review I did Arian Smith, I'm like, this guy can run routes too. Like, I know he drops the ball, but he can run routes and he's fast as hell. So I understood the pick, didn't kill him for it, and he had a pretty good preseason and at least a decent camp. So he'll get involved. How early? When is it? Next week? Week 5, 6, 8? I don't know. But his speed is a very, very real threat to at least open up the defense. So he'll be involved.
Derek in the raffle for 1. Phantom green and white in our jersey raffle for 1. Luppy says, nice to see the O-line do a good job. Amen. Luppy says, nobody's talking to me. I'm not as concerned about, the Jets not having like a captain, a leader out there that can kind of get guys in the right spot. Because I think Sherwood's a really good player. Him and some guys just had bad games. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. That quarterback changing plays, seeing the coverages are in, taking advantage of it. Again, it's going to happen. New defense. You're expecting some lumps early. We've said that quite a few times at this point. So did I expect 4, 5, 6, 7 coverage bust? Maybe not. Let's knock it down to 2 or 3 next week. Hopefully not for touchdowns, but it's obviously something that they have to work on.
AZ Frankie says, what percentage do we have to win against Buffalo? So your percentage on the Jets' chances of taking down the Bills. You'll be in the building, right, Joe?
No, so I'm skipping 3 home games. That's one of them. I was like, you know what? Do I really want to make my way to see the Jets play Buffalo? No. I'll go to like the Falcons game, the Browns game.
If they win, though, do we allow you back though? That's the thing.
If they win, I will not go back. That is fine. I bought individual game tickets this year because I had season tickets for like 15 years. The problem is when you buy season tickets, let's say they're like $150 a pop for each game. By the end of the season, those tickets that are $150 are now selling for $75.
Right.
So I'm like, why am I buying tickets? And
you don't get anything. You don't get playoff games. It's not like you're getting face value for your home playoff game that hasn't happened since 2002. Yeah. You're not getting this great season ticket experience where you get like an awesome gift every year that the Jets send you. They're like the only team in the league that doesn't do that. So you made the right choice, 100%.
I don't even get a keychain. Like, and then they raise the prices. They ask for money early. I'm like, I'm not doing this, So I don't have season tickets this year. But if they win versus Buffalo, then maybe I will not be back in the stadium because I want them to win at the end of the day. But off the top of my head, it's hard. What's the number is probably 7.5, right? I would assume. 30% chance, 35. I think that seems about right. The Ravens running on them the way they did gives me some confidence, especially looking at what the Jets did to the Steelers, who have a better defense than the Bills. So as long as they can keep it up, I don't see why they can't win the game. So let's throw it at 37%.
37% chance. I mean, look, it's better than 0. It's not 0. There's a chance.
That's the Jets fans in us.
Unreal. Jetaholic writes in, he's in the raffle for 2 with this. Do you think Tanner will add more wrinkles and some trickery? Think they have to get Smith involved and maybe Pritchett if he's activated? Need more from wide receiver.
Like he'll add more wrinkles. He'll build upon his adjustments, and that's why the Rams have been so good and the Vikings have been so good, and all these teams because they anticipate those adjustments. They anticipate again. Okay, this team thinks that this route's going to be a corner and it's a post or it's a corner post or things as simple as that. Obviously, I'm dumbing it down quite a bit because I don't have an example right in front of me. They'll add more wrinkles, trickery, maybe an offensive lineman pass and things like that. But really, how much do we need to change from the offense? Like, they scored 32 points. I don't think they punted in the first half, which I don't know if I've ever seen. They scored on their first 4 drives, if I'm not mistaken. So we don't need to fix what's not broken. I'm sure they'll add more on as the season goes. But stick to your script right now. Run the hell out of the ball. Take advantage of the short to intermediate game. Throw it through a few deep shots in there. I think get Arian Smith more involved later on this season to open you up more intermediate. Take a deep shot or two to him a game, and you're good. Like, we don't need to overcomplicate this.
Luppy and Andrew each gifting a channel membership. They are playing to win a jersey of their choosing at the end of the show.
Hello, you play to win the game.
Mr. Magoo is in the raffle for 5 as well. Big Islander fan says he hates the read option. It exposes Justin Fields. Joe, your thoughts?
I think it's a thing where it's like almost necessary, right? Like the Ravens do it with Lamar. It'd be kind of a disservice to the team to not take advantage of a quarterback's legs like that. Now, if he was a top 10 quarterback without his legs, then yeah, fine. But, we know at this point in his career, I'm not saying this game, but he's been a below average to bad passer and a very good runner. That's a big part of his appeal. They're not going to, they'll try to protect him. Like, they're not going to be dumb about it and run him 1,000 times a game, but they're going to run him at least, I would say 5 to 10 times a game, just because it's who he is.
I mean, Jaden Daniels was amazing last year, and they do it with him. Like, it's football, man. Yeah. Like, Fields is an elite runner with the ball in his hands. You have to have that in the playbook. Yeah.
Josh Allen hurts on the tush push. Like, if you're a guy who's big and physical like that in today's NFL, teams are not going to not take advantage of it. It just doesn't make much sense. He offers a ton to the team with those legs. So and now if you're up, 27-7, yeah, no read option. But in close games, things like that, you got to do it.
Uno Jets. Jake, if we beat the Bills this week, I believe we're making the playoffs. Let's go Jets. And if my aunt had a, she'd be, I hope you're right, Uno. Let's just win this game, please. Matthew Smith, who's a Cam Ward truther, says, anyone see how good Cam Ward played? I mean, I was on the air during all of that game. I know they lost, and Denver won like an ugly game, but I didn't see how Cam Ward played. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I saw some like cut-ups of him on Twitter. Looks like he delivered the ball really well, like stood in the pocket really well. It seems like the Titans had a lot of drops and stuff. They didn't help him out, but he threw some absolute seeds. So, happy for Cam Ward. Can't really hate on the Titans for any reason.
Let's see. This one is from Luppy. Blewett didn't blow it today. Nice job with the breakdown. Now, my last name is Asman, so, I mean, you can imagine the puns and stupid jokes I've heard growing up, right? Your last name being Blewett. How often do you have to deal with people making silly jokes like that?
It's nonstop, as you know. It's a name. I think I'd rather be Asman because, like, I'm an ass man. Like, who cares?
Hell yeah.
When you're growing up with the name Blewett, especially when you have an older sister in high school, you sink or swim very quickly with that name.
Goodness.
I like to imagine I swam, but Luppy. I've heard that one since 4th grade, so you gotta step your game up a little bit with the jokes. If people throw some new stuff in there, I'll laugh. But come on, Luppy. I heard that from 10-year-olds.
He says sorry. I love it.
Okay.
Man, I can't believe you have an older sister, man. That's tough. That is real tough.
Yeah, it's rough. I feel bad. Like, what is with that? Like, what scumbags?
Spencer Green says, Beast Breaker, is that you? Love the information from the guest today. He isn't as good as Beast when it comes to breaking down plays, but he's close. Elect to kick ass, Jets. Let's go. Are you familiar with Beast Breaker at all? He before you joined the show, he was the guy that I'd show some highlights to, and he'd break down the film for all of us.
I think I've seen again some clips of Beastbreaker. Is this the bald guy?
He's got like a rat tail kind of hairstyle look.
I've only seen the baldness. Maybe I have the wrong guy, but I think I've seen a big a hefty individual who's bald. I think
he's a hefty man. So that's Beast. If you're familiar with his work.
I'm looking forward to getting to meet him maybe throughout the season. We'll see.
I mean, I'd go to him, but Beast right now, he calls in from the attic. He refers to it as the global studio headquarters, and this is a live look at the attic. It doesn't look like he's even there. Beast, are you even there? Come on, man. Where are you?
The question I have is this his attic that he pimped out, or is this his parents' attic?
It's an unknown question. He would tell you it's his, but we don't exactly know the whole story here. Beast, you there?
Technically, I am the guy recording a show in his basement right now, but I own the house, so I can
record
my basement if I want to.
I was in the John taking care of business. My stomach was hurting. That's why. Pull up the video. We're gonna review that touchdown that when Rodgers threw it. I'm gonna review the blow by blow shot.
I'm gonna put up the play of Tony Adams missing a tackle, and Beast. We'll get your film review.
Pay attention and get your thinking caps out. Watch closely.
Okay, here we go. Here's the play. Go ahead.
Hold up. Now what? Watch closely. Rodgers sets up his own set. Should have been caught. That should have been goddamn caught right on the tip of the target. That. Hope you enjoy the landing.
Peace, thank you. Joe, what did you think of his film review there?
Dude, honestly, like at this point, why even come back for weekly spots? I think you got your
Please come back for a weekly spot. Please.
at least so we'll take it.
Joe, you were the man. I appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I'm on JetX every day. Anyone who watches the show knows Robbie's been with us for years. We got Nick on Fridays, but plug your work and everything you guys have coming up on JetX.
Yeah, got like 14 non articles a day. Got 20-minute breakdowns from Sabo on one play. You got me weekly reviews. I also changed it a little bit. Like my old formula with the reviews used to be like I would do like an hour clip of a guy and then just clip like the first 15 minutes and throw it up. But now each review has its own individual topics, strengths, weaknesses, highlights of those strengths, weaknesses. So if you checked out the short reviews in the past, you didn't like them, check them out again because now they're new. But I appreciate the invite, working through the voice and all that stuff. I appreciate the chat. And then hopefully I'll see you again next week and the week after and some weeks after that. So I'm excited to break down some film here.
Joe, you're the man. Continued success. And hopefully you get some tea in the body and the voice starts to recover.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Appreciate it.
Joe Blewett from Jets X Factor. Great job breaking it down. And I mean, look, he says he's more encouraged after watching the film back. I can see why. They did a lot of good. The O-line stuff was awesome to watch for those who tuned in late. Fields really going through progressions, being comfortable, showing off the ability to throw and the ability to obviously run that we knew, though. Certainly encouraging. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought this guy was nuts when he told me that Justin Fields was destined for greatness with the Jets. That Justin Fields was going to lead this team to 11 wins. But I'll tell you what, Justin Fields plays like that. Maybe he's not nuts. He's just a Jet fan.
Oh, shit. Hey, Jake. How are you?
Peter Castro, how you feeling? Are you happy with what you saw or you're upset that they lost? Where are you at?
Well, I was happy what I saw offensively. Defensively, they have to make a couple of changes. And their special teams at Gibson, I want them out, get them out. And I'm not happy with Tony Adams. He takes the wrong route to the runners all the time. The runners get around him. He does it constantly. He's putting Malachi Moore in there, give him his shot, I think would be better off.
He can't be worse. That's my big thing. Like, there's no way these guys they put in are somehow worse than what we just saw.
Exactly. They can't be worse. And Tony Adams, if you watch his angles on the angles he takes, he can never make a tackle. I mean, what's he doing? He lets the guy, instead of getting them out of bounds, he lets him go right around them. You know, he knows there's no backup. He's got to get him outside. He makes me sick. And that Gibson, a nightmare. He's a nightmare for the defense, and he's a nightmare for any team we play. He's a nightmare, and he's got a cannon for an arm that's telling he can't throw. Are you kidding me? He
doesn't have the quickest release, but he could throw. I mean, he can make every throw. His arm is insane.
Yeah, his arm's insane. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. He's built like a brick shit house. I mean, they can't even knock him down when they get in. When they get inside. I mean, he always this guy. I'm telling you, he's the best thing that ever happened to the Jets. Thank you, Mike Tomlin.
Wow. I hope you're right. I'll tell you what. I mean, I thought you were crazy, but one game in, Peter Castro's looking like a genius.
But you thought, Jake, that I was crazy when I told you Saleh was no good, too.
Well, I think you were just overly harsh on Saleh at the time that you were critical of him.
I couldn't stand Saleh. I couldn't stand
Saleh. You never gave him any credit for when they won 7 games with Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian. I was just like, I don't know if he's a great coach. He's probably not. But I'm like, you talked about him like he was the worst coach ever. Like, he wasn't a good coach. But, I mean.
Horrible. He won 7 games, and then he lost 8 in a row like a jerk.
No, he was a bad coach. It is 100%. I try to root for this team. You know, I try to be optimistic when I can. So,
how could you be optimistic? Are you optimistic about Xavier Gibson or Tony Adams or this new guy they gave $36 million to who can't stay on his feet? I mean, what's up with them? And what pisses me off even more is that Aaron Glenn is a defensive back, and those two back there stink. Tony Adams and who's the other guy? Stevens. Terrible, both of them. Out.
Well, let's see if
How do you give this guy $36 million? Who scouted him?
they did, and that's what I'm saying. That's why we have to hope that they make adjustments, right? I mean, it's one game. I think there's a lot of talent on the defense. Week 1, things happen. They had a lot of coverage busted. It is still a new scheme, a new system for these guys, so they got to learn it quick.
I'll tell you, the defensive line looks good. The offensive line looks great. We must have good coach, good line coach, whoever he is. Tana Angstrom, he's going to be a head coach in a year or two.
No, don't say
For
that too
sure.
loud. We don't want him to. We don't want him to go just yet.
He's talented. If you watch the schemes that they ran, he knows what he's doing. He really does. He's good. He goes where the strongest guys are. He knows where they are. He's good. And now you got Justin Fields. I only wish that they would put Braylon Allen and Breece Hall back there with Justin Fields.
They did
That's
it on
a
that
triple.
one play.
Yeah, I think they got to do it more often because that's a triple nightmare for the defense.
I love the
You know-
play they ran where Fields faked the handoff to Braylon Allen, and Braylon Allen became the fullback on the play, leading the charge for Fields.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if Fields gets in the open field, he's gone. Do you see him go around the edge? He goes past people like they're standing still.
Oh, yeah. Is it true, Peter, when you were watching this game and Fields ran the naked bootleg on the 4th and goal that you were doing the Jet celebration too in your living room like he was?
I couldn't, Jay, because I got a torn ACL, a
What?
torn MCL, and a torn ligament.
What? Is this a new injury? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I just got it a few weeks ago. Jumping
Wow.
off a boat.
I had no idea, Peter. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, you're the second asthmaniac in the last 2 months that's dealing with an ACL injury. PBM, same thing.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. And I'm used to doing whatever I please. I can't.
That's tough. Wait, have you had the surgery already?
No. They said that I could let it heal and I can get therapy, but I don't know. I don't know.
How are you going to ride your bike again during that? Incredible. Amazing. Let's get to more of your calls. A lot of you are on hold, which I certainly appreciate. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't done so already. That's the thumbs up icon. That helps the algorithm find more people. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you're getting 4 hours of Jets content per day. So make sure you do so. We hit over 42,000 subscribers the other day. The goal is 50 by the end of the season. And if the Jets don't suck, if they're as good as Peter Castro says they will be, we're going to easily eclipse that because that's how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, more calls, shall we? Let's say hello to Mike Drop, who's next. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Jake. Thanks for taking the call. I want to talk about the defense and how all these things that we had as far as breakdowns were basically fixable. Sauce had the highest PFF grade for any quarterback. Quentin Williams looked awesome. Jermaine Johnson looked good coming back. Michael Clemens didn't get a personal foul or ejected or cost us the game. I think all these things that we had happen were all fixable and teachable. Ideally not week 1. And we're not talking about the offense and the offensive line and Justin Fields holding the ball too long or trying to do too much. He's trying to make a simple read, working through his progressions and kind of doing what we want him to do. And then Breece, number 2 in receiving on the Jets, kind of what I expected. And hopefully that continues. Him and Garrett, kind of receiver 1 and 2. And Braylon Allen continues to rumble downhill. Went forward on 4th down a few times. Was successful. That bootleg and the kind of improv that Fields and Ingstrand kind of came up with, because that wasn't part of the play. You just said keep it and see how it goes. So I am concerned he's taking too many hits, though. Fields is going to be fragile. He's a big dude, but this is NFL players hitting him over and over again. So I do like on the 4th down, he threw it to Wilson. He was open. He should have held on to it. It's a good hit by Ramsey. But that's unnecessary hits when he had an open receiver, right? And that's kind of what we were trying to avoid for him long term if he's going to play all 17 games. So,
yeah, look, they got to be smart with when they use him, Mike. But I think ultimately, his superpower is his ability to make plays with his legs, and that's how this offense has got to be built. That's it. They gotta utilize that. Fields is big and strong. He took that hit from TJ Watt, and I was a little concerned, but he got up right away. Dan the Jet fan with a super chat. Do I think the Dolphins fire Mike McDaniel if they start 0-4 with losses to the Patriots, Bills? Yeah, I mean, I hope. Or maybe I don't hope. I don't know. Feels like they kind of quit on them already. I don't know. I thought the Dolphins were going to win Sunday. I got that one completely wrong. To make Daniel Jones look like, prime Peyton Manning, crazy. They're a mess. They've been a mess. Anyway, I mean, you can see it's all going to boil over there. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. There's a guy on the line who's very passionate about his Jets. And I will meet him in person for the first time next week in Tampa.
Ricky, New York is my name. Florida State is my game. My internet sucks, call him Jake. When it's time to smoke and debate. The New York Jets are gonna win. My team since I was a kid. My New York Jets are gonna win. I'm Richie, New York. Don't forget that. Florida State, bitches. New York Jets. We got this shit. It's time to win, baby. Win. Can't wait.
Hey, how's it going, Jake?
Ricky!
Unfortunately, we did not get the win. Xavier Gibson then leaked out and made a nice catch for a first down. That was encouraging to see, but I want to apologize to you and everybody else in the fan base. Us, after the 53-man roster came out, Glenn made those comments about Xavier Gibson and how explosive he was, and he called him dynamite. And on my show after that, I said, the thing about dynamite, though, is you got to be careful or it will blow up in your face. Seemed like a funny line at the time, not so funny on Sunday when it happened. I think me and my big mouth, I think I jinxed us with that comment. I'll be more careful going forward, but good God, man. Like Xavier Gibson, I mean, he led the NFL in both fumbles and muff punt last year among returners. Like, I think we've seen what he is. Like, enough is enough. Tony Adams, I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt going into the year, but that third down play that you showed it, where Metcalf caught the ball and Adams was right there, like breaking down, like he was about to make the tackle, and then he just hesitated and waited and let DK make the move on him, and they picked up the first down. But I'm like, what the hell did you hesitate for? Like, why didn't you just wrap the guy up and run through him? Like, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like he was playing scared or something. And, but between him and Brandon Stevens, I mean, good Lord, those two gave me nightmares all week long. But that being said, I do think the problems we saw are fixable.
You get the fuck out. I hope they're fixable, like Ricky NY's Wi-Fi. We did the best we could there. He battled to the end. Ricky, good call. Internet, though, was doing its thing. Couple super chats here. Big fella, Gibson explosive like diarrhea is explosive. I'll give you explosive. That's Xavier Gibson. Also, Black Gypsy gifting a membership in the raffle for one with this. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and tune in to a new intro for everyone's favorite caller who loves all women and believes they should be allowed to vote.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
That's extraordinary. It's yes, it's really quite extraordinary. Yes, indeed. Yes. I like the other one better. It was good though. It's good. I like the pointing. The pointing is really good, but this was good. At first, I didn't look who it is. Jumps on just to see me. Look, I don't blame her. If I was a young lady and surrounded by simps and betas, I'd have a crush on me too. It's quite understandable.
Who do you think doesn't like you more, Amanda or Dave Briga?
Oh, Dave Briga. Amanda likes me. Dave Brigger does not. Amanda just can't admit publicly that she likes me. Dave Brigger doesn't like me because I don't think that people walked on the moon, and that triggers him for reasons I'll never quite understand. I feel bad for the old man. This is what he does. Imagine you're 70 years old, whatever, you're 65 years old, and the highlight of your day is watching a Jets YouTube show so that you can insult a caller. I have pity for the guy. It's got to be a sad existence. Like I feel for him. Like his life is that bad where the highlight of his day is watching a Jet YouTube show.
How do you know that's the highlight of his day?
Because he does it every day. He does it every day, Jake.
Well, you call the show a lot.
I like the show. It's a good show, Jake.
Thank you.
But this is what he does, right? He does it every day. It's just, it's a bunch of people. I don't get mad. You can come in, if you can insult me. If your life is so sad and so pathetic.
I think it's a bit of a stretch to say you don't get mad.
Am I mad? Am I responding? Am I calling him names back? When the people in the chat, JD Surf City or Michael Duramo or whatever his name is, when they sit there and insult me, do I clap back at them? No, their lives suck. Their lives are pathetic. Their lives didn't turn out the way they wanted it to.
JD says this is the highlight of your day, spreading nonsense.
So I'm saying, like, he can't show his face and make an argument because he would get destroyed. Right? He doesn't have the intelligence or the IQ to make an argument. He can't do that. He can just sit there, he can't even show his real name. So he sits behind a fake name and a fake profile picture to insult people who he's never met. I mean, it's low intelligence. It's effeminate. He's the epitome of everything that's wrong with the average male right now.
Now, Dave Brigger says that his existence is far beyond your dim imagination.
This is what you do with your life, Dave. Like, you can say what you want, but your actions speak for themselves. Do you think your ancestors are proud of you? Like, you claim to be a Christian. You think this is what Christ, this is Christ's order? This is what Christ wants you to do? I mean, it's so silly. Like, but it's fine.
Boomtown says it's Mr. 3D Boxing, your government name.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, that's on the birth certificate.
Spencer Green with a super chat. Damn, man, I don't know why I have to say this every day. Sit down, hush your mouth, quit your typing, and pay damn attention. Greatness is in front of us.
And get with the ism. Get with the ism. That goes for you too, Amanda, and the rest of 4.5%, as I guess we're calling them now. Get with the ism. The ism will change your life. It'll make you a happier, more productive person with a more fulfilled life. So get with the ism.
Dave Brigger says, I work 4 days a week. You sit behind a desk 24/7.
Okay. Not 24/7. That's obviously exaggeration, but yes. What is it like, Jake? What's the argument that you thought this was clever? I suppose you put it up. What's the argument there?
What?
Put that Brigger comment back up. I work 4 days a week. You sit behind a desk 24/7.
Well, you said that the highlight of Dave's day is this show and that he does nothing all day. And Dave's saying that's not true. I have a life. I work. You don't do anything.
I don't do anything behind a desk 24/7. People don't do things at a desk. Is that his argument? But you see, I mean, this is argument that people don't do things at a desk. Is that his argument? I'm trying to understand.
I can't speak to that. I don't know.
Right, because that's what I'm saying. He's got, he doesn't have the intelligence or the IQ to present.
I disagree with you. Dave Brigger is one of the smartest people that tunes into the show. He's a man of achievement.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Nate and Dave Brigger took an IQ test. Who gets the higher score?
I respect my elders. I respect the OGs. I would say
Nate's older than you too. So
yeah. So, but you said Brigger and Nate.
Yeah, who gets who if they both take an IQ test? Who gets a higher score?
I would lean with Dave Brigger.
I would spot him 50 points. He'd still lose.
No, Dave Brigger is.
Yeah. I'd give him 3 standard deviations. That's 45 points.
Who cares about IQ?
What's a measure of intelligence? Who
That's
cares
the
about
only
it?
measure of intelligence. You ever heard of street smarts versus book smarts?
Well, no one mentioned book smarts. We mentioned IQ. IQ was developed by the government to administer to people before World War I.
Wow, I'm surprised you trust the government.
They could determine.
The government said the moon landing's real. Now we trust the government.
They could trust them to start wars and tell people what they'll be good at in wars. Yeah, if there's anything the government's good at, always killing people, right? For sure.
Rick Kent says IQ is not a measure of intelligence.
That's what low IQ people say. Yeah, It's like saying a 40 time isn't a measure of your speed. No, that's exactly what it is. If you don't like that, it's probably because you have a low IQ. But
Amanda says Gary's IQ score would be the lowest. Doesn't even have 50 points to spare.
Okay. I didn't say mine. I said Nate, Amanda. If you want to, Amanda, we can do this. We can monitor it. We can have me versus you in an IQ test. And if you get within one standard deviation of me, I'll make I'll write out a check to your favorite charity. I'd be willing to do that just to shut you up, right?
Why to charity? Why can't she just take the money and then go spend it on a nice dinner?
Because that's I don't want to. It can go to charity. It can go to a good cause. Other than it can go to a good cause.
Okay, I was just
give it to
curious.
her to make money. No, I'll give it to your favorite charity. I'll write a big check to your favorite charity, man. If you get within one standard deviation, if you guys don't know, a standard deviation in an IQ test is 15 points. If you get within 15 points of me, which you won't, I guarantee you won't, I'll write a check out to your favorite charity.
I don't know. Amanda's pretty smart.
Okay. That's fine. Do men or women typically have the highest IQs?
I'm just telling you.
As a matter of fact, if you look at all the people with the highest IQs, they generally tend to be men or women.
Amanda says, "What was your college GPA or high school?"
What I'm saying. What is your point? A GPA is subjective. An IQ test is objective. I don't even know what college you went to. I don't even know what your course of study was. That is subjective. An IQ test objectively measures your intelligence. It was administered to see what people could do what job. And if you had an IQ over 120, you know what job you could do? Any of them. If you had an IQ under 83, you know what job you could do? None of them. Still, 100 years later, it's still the best indicator of success.
Beastbreaker with the best point of the day. My GPA has better brains than Gary.
That's not even a sensible comment. It's not even.
Also, just so you know, Amanda went to UPenn and graduated from Wharton, aka the best business school in the country. I think she would beat you in the IQ test.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that all day. If she went to UPenn, that's got nothing to do with IQ. Nothing. Why I went to UPenn has nothing to do with your IQ. This has been demonstrated over and over and over again. Okay, that's fine. Like we can take. I already know what my IQ test is. I was in Mensa for 2 years. I know what my IQ is. We can do this however you want. You're not going to get within 15 points of me. I can promise you that.
Now, who'd win in a rumble though? You or Briga?
There's no arguing with Briga.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
I'm not coming here to argue with you, okay? My wife doesn't want me screaming at somebody like you, who she calls a barroom evangelist, okay? Why do you continually come in? Yeah, don't be a wise guy, okay? Just don't be a wise guy.
Yes, lovely.
You're far from that, my friend, and you are far from that.
Lovely.
You're far from that. Look at that face.
And there you are speaking life. There you are speaking life again, just like Christ commanded you to. There you go. Excellent.
Listen to me. You come on the air. Listen.
Spectacular.
Okay, keep talking. Oh, look at that mouth move. Okay, I'm trying to speak to you in a simple manner. I'm trying to speak to you in a simple manner.
Rambling incoherently. The old man needs a nap.
You have no respect. Zero. You understand? Zero respect.
You sit in a chat and insult people. What is your goal? What is your ultimate goal? You want to try and ruin someone's day so they're unhappy?
Go look at yourself in the mirror, Gary.
I
Go look
asked
at
you a
yourself in the
question.
mirror.
Yeah, extraordinary. I
Go
asked you a
on.
question.
Ask the question. Ask the question. What is it?
What is your goal of going in a chat and trying to insult people? What is your primary objective?
No, Gary, you insult people every time you come on. Why are you so self-righteous?
I speak life to
you
people.
are, Gary. You're self-righteous.
I asked you a question. Stop deflecting and answer the question. When you come in a chat, you insult people. What is your goal?
Gary,
what is your
Gary,
primary objective? Just answer the question.
I want to expose you for the fraud that you are.
Later.
You're
right
a fraud.
Now, answer the question.
Ask the question. What's your question, Gary? What is
it? For the third time. And then repeat it back.
There you go. What is
it?
What's your question, Gary?
Third time. What is your goal? You go into a chat and insult people. What is your goal?
Because you try to be self-righteous in your exposure.
What is your goal? What? Not the reason.
That's my goal.
What is your goal?
You're a self-righteous person.
No,
You're
no, not me.
self-righteous.
Not me. What is your goal? You go on a chat to insult people. What is
Because
your
you
goal when you do that?
because you come on
Why you did it? I
every
asked
day
you.
with your nonsense,
I didn't
insulting
ask you.
people.
I
You're an
didn't ask you
insulting
why.
person.
This is
You
what I'm saying.
insult
He
people.
doesn't
You
have the
insult. Look
IQ
at that
to
big
answer
fat
a
mouth.
question. He doesn't have the IQ to answer a question. Repeat
I
the question
answered
back
your
to me.
question. I
Repeat
answered
the
your question.
Repeat the
3D box.
back to me. Repeat the question.
What's your
back to me
real
so I know
name,
you
by the
understand
way?
question.
Put your real name up. If you're a
Repeat the
big
question
shot,
back
put
to
your
me.
real name in the chat.
Repeat the question back to me so I know you
3D
understand.
boxing. That's why I
Repeat-
come on to
yeah.
expose you as a fraud.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
what.
Great job. Awesome. Repeat the question back to me so I know you understand it. Repeat the question back to me so I know you understand the question.
I told you. I come on to
I
expose
said,
you.
Repeat
You are
my
a fraud.
question back to me. You said
You
you
are
answered
a
my
fraud.
question.
You are
Awesome.
a self-righteous fraud.
Awesome.
Fraud.
Awesome. Awesome.
You're
Extraordinary.
self-righteous. You come on
Amazing.
and condemn
What- Dave,
people.
what-
You
okay,
denigrate
no,
women.
we're not
You
gonna
ignore
Dave,
facts of history.
We're not gonna
That is
gonna
my
deflect.
point, buddy.
We're not
There's
gonna
my
deflect,
point.
Dave.
You get it?
We're not going to
There's
deflect.
my point. Go look in the
goal?
mirror. Fraud.
You insult people
Self-righteous
online.
fraud.
When you insult people online in a
I'm
chat
not
room,
insulting. I tell the truth. Far from you. You take the scripture out of context. If you want to come on and preach the true gospel, tell the truth. You don't preach nothing. You're a zero.
You still haven't
I
answered the
answered
question.
your question 6 times.
Repeat the question
I
back to me
answered
so I
it
know you
6
understand
times.
it. Repeat the question back to me
Come
so I know
on,
you understand the question.
you deflect everything.
Go ahead and answer the
You're
question.
an ignorant person.
Yeah,
You're
awesome.
ignorant.
Now answer the question.
I answered the question.
What question did you answer? Repeat the question back
I
to me so
answered
I know you understand the question.
what I put in the chat to expose a fraud like you, a
No, that wasn't the
self-righteous
question.
fraud.
No, I'll ask the question
What is
again.
it?
When you
Oh,
go
you
in the
dummy.
chat,
You big
when you
dummy.
go in the chat to
Mr.
insult
IQ.
people, what is
What's
your
your
goal?
IQ? 10? What is it?
When you
You're
go, we're
always
not going to deflect. You're going to answer the question. When you go
Answer it
in the
again.
chat room, when you go in the chat to insult people, what is your primary goal?
I don't insult anybody. I try to help
You
people.
insult me all the time.
don't.
You
Because
insult me
you're
all
a
the time.
fraud.
What?
Because you're a
Okay, so what is
self-righteous
your- okay, so
fraud.
what is your goal? What is your goal?
That's right. To expose your fraud. Because you as a fraud.
Okay. What
why.
did I say? Okay, awesome. Okay. You
Because
finally
you know
answered the
what?
question.
You
What did-
denigrate women. You take the scriptures out of
I get it right.
context.
What did I say that was
Yes, you
fraudulent?
do.
Put in
Yeah,
quotes
look at that
what I
face.
said that was fraudulent.
You liar. You do
Go ahead, put in
expose.
quotes.
You,
Put in quotes what I
you-
said that was fraudulent.
what did I say? Fraudulent.
What
You
did I-
denigrate
put in
people.
quotes what I said that
You
was
take
fraudulent.
scriptures out of
Put
context
in
all the
quotes
time.
what I said that was fraudulent.
You say it every day.
Put
You
in quotes
denigrate
what
people.
I said that was fraudulent.
Tons of stuff, buddy.
Name
I'm
one.
not going to
Good.
get into it.
Good,
You
then
know
this
it.
should be good. Then this should be easy for
You're
you.
a fraud.
Name one. Name one.
Because you take the scriptures out of context all the time.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
A rumble for the ages, man. Hagler, Hearns, Ali, Tyson. When you get Gary versus Briga, it's unlike any other rumble you could put together. And Mimosa said, I had enough. Great show, Jake. Was in a good mood until Gary came on. Gonna go back and watch Gibson's fumble on a loop. Briga rules. Bye. Dave Briga, man. Unreal. Unreal. What a moment, huh? That was not expecting a rumble on a Tuesday of week 1, but man. Mimosa, always good to have you part of the show. You're on our raffle for a jersey of your choosing at the end of the show for 10 with that. By the way, I want to shout out Ralphie Rocks. He put this in our Discord earlier. So Ralphie's been very lucky with these raffles. And he sent a photo of the framed Rivas and Sanchez signed jerseys that he's won over the last couple of weeks on the show. Put this in the Ralphie Rocks man cave. So love that. Love that. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. Reminder, this Sunday, me and Mike Tannenbaum are doing our weekly radio show together on ESPN New York from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I'm going to suggest to Mike that we should have Gary and Dave Briga on at the same time for some highly entertaining radio. Just kidding. On that note, let's now get back to your calls. And let's welcome on the show right now a man that they call Pork of the morning. Hello, Pork.
Oh, yeah, I'm here, Jake. Sorry.
What's up, Pork?
No, I'm just cooking, man, and I, just needed some companionship, something to watch here in the kitchen. And I just seen that throwdown between
Titans, man. I mean, when they get it's Batman versus Joker, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's everything you want with two great rivals going at it. It's prime Yankees, Red Sox. It's Duke, North Carolina. It's Michigan, Ohio State. It's Dodgers, Giants. It's Jets, Patriots.
Connor Dobler, Bill Berge. Yeah. No, but it was crazy. But I was still watching more tape of Membu, and I seen one play where like he blocked. He's a pro already, from what I'm seeing. The more I watch the tape, the better he gets. Maybe I'm just being biased towards the guy, but I didn't even like the pick. I wanted Warren. So, I'm very, I'm ecstatic about it. He's going to be rookie of the year. You watch and see. And if he is, that's going to be awesome, because I noticed on last year's teams that won the Super Bowl, they had rookies that made plays. If we could have Arian Smith come in here and make some plays, take the top off a few times, I think we could. That's something we didn't even go into, because wasn't he a little banged up? Didn't he get pulled out for a hamstring early in the game?
He was healthy. He only played 6 snaps, so I think you're more likely to see like Mason Taylor get more involved than Arian Smith, because I think there's a lot of untapped potential throwing over the middle to the tight ends.
Yeah, you don't think they're going to throw Arian Smith in there in like a gadget play, deep play, something like that? Because I'd like to see him get his hands on the ball. Let's see what he can do. I mean, he returned that kick, but I want to see him out in space and what he can do.
I'm curious to see what his role is. I do think he could be the kick returner this week for sure, because I don't think it's going to be Gibson, or should it be?
No, it's not going to be. If it's him, there's going to be a lot of boos, and he's going to get booed as soon as he's out there, and he should.
Yep.
He should feel that shit, because that's not a professional play. And he did it in the beginning, early in the game. I don't know if you remember that, where he had the return and then just dropped it on the ground.
Now, Pork, we got to talk about your fit. I mean, this is an incredible look for you, and I just love that you wore this on the show.
You like that? Well, it is. I got the whole chef's outfit. I don't have the mitts or anything, but I got my Curtis Martin jersey on. One of the greatest Jets of all time.
You're a professional chef. I mean, maybe the Jets should hire you to be their team chef.
I would definitely help them out in the healing factors with my herbal remedies and whatnot. Here's one of my fine cranberry cereal bars right here. They are amazing, actually. And I have the cannabis butter too. I don't know if you.
Very nice. And let me ask you this: if we got Gary and Dave Briga in the room together, and you were going to cook them a dinner for them to kind of clear the air, what would you make them?
To clear the air, I want to give them a good like home style meal, like probably like meatloaf, With I don't drink, but I'd serve them some beers, just one. I don't want them to get drunk and fight each other, and then, for a dessert, maybe a nice cannabis brownie with it topped with vanilla ice cream. Very simple, but I'm pretty sure that would help them out. Of course, I would definitely infuse the meatloaf as well with the sauce.
I'll tell you what, we might need to make that happen, Pork. So be ready to roll, all right?
Yeah, hey, no problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pork of the morning. Look at him. What a setup. What a attire. All right. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to the one, the only, Kyle Clifton.
So I don't have anything to say about women's suffrage or, caveman diets or the moon landing or anything like that. But I will say that I use this name to protect my family. Right. And Jake, you've met me. I don't think that me fearing anyone else is really an issue. It's just a matter of, there's a lot of crazy people out there, and Gary has to realize that he's doing it himself. Right. 3D
Look,
boxing is not his government name, as we just said.
I actually think it is his government name, from what I understand.
Well, but I do like the new digs, so I think that I might stay here for a while. He's got a pretty sweet life down here in Texas.
Does he? Where's Cannoli? Where's Decker? Are they around?
I kicked them out from my call.
Oh, okay. It makes sense.
So, as much as I, respect Peter Castro and I love his calls, I think we have to tap the brakes a little bit on Fields. I want to see a little bit more of a body of work.
You don't think he's going to be our starter for 10 years?
Well, no, I mean, certainly not for 10 years, because by that point, what makes him special is going to be gone, right?
He's 26. Yeah, he's probably not able to do what he does running at age 36.
Right. So, but that doesn't mean that if he proves himself over, the course of this season, that he couldn't have a very, healthy end of career here. That's something that I actually would relish. I would love it. That was great. It's been a great show, great segment with Blewett and showing these tackles and really some of the work that they're putting in. I happen to name my my fantasy team Membu's Only Jacket. I'm just, my only worry about the offensive line is now that AVT had gone down, and I think we're getting a sense of what this offense might have been if he were able to stay healthy. And I kind of feel like we would be able to run the ball pretty effectively against anybody. The problem becomes, what happens if one of these tackles go down? Not necessarily one of the interior guys, because I think we could probably cover that a little bit too. I think Xavier Newman made some strides in past years. I think Max Mitchell's better at guard, not necessarily good, and I like some of the guys on the practice squad for their potential. But if we have to put somebody out there at left tackle that's not Olu-Fashanu, what happens to this team? I don't think it's a very good future, right? Like, it would be, who would it be? Would it be Mitchell at this point with no AVT?
Yeah, probably, or a Corafor. They signed him.
He played so poorly there last year, to the fact that, and he was kind of insulted that he was asked to play there.
I mean, they kind of need him. So I don't know. I mean, to be fair though, like if most teams lost their stud left tackle, they'd be in trouble. Like the Chargers would be in trouble too if they didn't have Joe Alt who could slide over because they lost Slater. Like that's kind of life. You got to be able to scheme around it and figure it out. But Olu would be a big blow because I saw the stat today. I forget where I saw it. Like 75% of Breece's rushing yards came when running to the left side behind Olu. So that'd be a huge loss.
And I'm not trying to speak that into existence. So, but yeah, I mean that's what you think about with this offense and the scheme. It's been great. I'm sure that Engstrand has got an idea about how they're going to try and adjust up in Buffalo, and he's got some ideas about what we'll do a little bit differently in this game script. And I'm looking forward to seeing it all, man. I'm hoping that Fields can put enough on tape there that we can say, you know what, we don't have to go into the draft next year and in the first round and take a quarterback. We feel comfortable with this guy on the go forward, and maybe we take a quarterback later to replace Tyrod. But we have other positions we need to fill, notably wide receiver, notably on the defensive line. And possibly more offensive line positions to fill if AVT or Simpson are a goner. I appreciate your time as ever, Jake.
Kyle, excellent call. And just so you know, before you run, Gary from the Hole sent in a super chat. It's Southern hospitality, bro. Stay as long as you want. Enjoy your stay.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton. Excellent call by Kyle. Now, what's interesting is during that Rumble, I had Beast saying, put me on. Put me on. Beast, you got to just take a step back and appreciate greatness. All right? We had two titans of the industry a heavyweight bout. When you get Gary and Brigham in the ring, we don't need a third. Right? When you get Roman Reigns versus, I'm trying to make a wrestling reference for Beast. Who's versus Cody Rhodes, you don't need anyone else. Let them do their thing. I think I did that right? Right? Wrestling fans? Pork in the Morning gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for one. Super chats we missed during the Rumble Madness. This one from the great Rick Kent. Gary, you should take care before you call anyone low IQ. IQ stands Forward Intelligence Quotient, which is a measure of a person's capacity to learn and their potential, not how intelligent they are. So that's from Rick Kent. Ryan A. sends a super chat. Gary and Briga's like an old teacher pulling his troubled student out of class to set him straight. Boomtown wrote in, Gary, I never get angry. 3D boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I was going to release the power rankings, but then this show got so far off the rails, we might save it for first show tomorrow. I'll play the full recap of the power rankings and go through everything, but we're already almost 2 hours in. Ant Bank says, Dave, don't waste your time. The guy has dementia. You can't speak to him intelligently. Spencer Green. Dave, this is what happens when you play with the king. Deflect. He's about to knock your ass out. Spencer Green. I find his bit of just loving Gary and Beast to be hilarious. Anyway, I think we're caught up on everything now. Islip Jet fan. Young McDonald has 2 sacks. E-I-E-I-O. That's right. Will McDonald, 2 sacks. On pace for what, 34 of them? Well said, Islip Jet fan. Hopefully the school year is off to a good start for you. All right, I know what we all need right now. You've been waiting for it. I'm going to give it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this man's thoughts on what we just saw.
Gary's a complete butthead. I will say that right now. With the lowest IQ I've ever saw in about 100 years. I mean, come on. This guy's IQ can't get any worse than a squirrel or a pigeon or another form of bird called a quail going quack. Or he can talk like a parrot and go quack. I need a cracker. I need a cracker. Polly want a cracker. Quack. What happened there?
Oh,
Jake, what happened? Oh, look at this. It's the jerk off of all jerk off.
Come on, Beast. Just because you're hacking my computer here trying to get your Rumble set up with Gary doesn't mean we need to allow that to happen. Come on. Gary's already in the hole. Look at him. He's in the hole. Look at Gary there. Gary, how's the hole treating you?
It's extraordinary. The service is great. I don't have to worry about anything. What kind of food they will prepare for me? Maybe I'll watch some TV. I have no responsibility.
You know what? I'm giving you Beast anyway. Beast, take it up.
Now, Mr. Gary, you ruined my my little boy's moment on the Azzy Awards back in August. I'm still pissed at you for that. You think I'm not going to forget, Sonny Boy? I didn't think so, and I think Dave Brigger's right. Well, one thing, you, sir, have dropped the ball, and you've turned into an F-R-A-U-D fraud. You just basically, you got nailed, and you know what? You just got
What did I say that was fraudulent?
Let me finish, donkey head.
You made a claim. You've done all the talking.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Donkey head is such a great insult by Beast. I gotta give him credit for that one. Amazing. All right, home stretch of the show. Beast, there you go. I'll give you a little Gary. As you guys can see, I'm having StreamYard issues. Let's say hello to a man who's been on hold, who's been patiently waiting to make his excellent points. Time to say hello to the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Breece Hall That's good. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Lane.
How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I do want to talk about the Jets. I was a little bit upset about the way the Jets played. I don't think that, you know, Justin Fields really had it on Sunday. Do you think that the reason why they didn't win is because they just didn't have it?
I thought Justin Fields played great, Lane. They scored 32 points.
Yeah, I know, but I thought that they were gonna win. I was hoping, and they didn't. That if you would have made that kick, at least maybe tie it or win it. I think that. So on the
Which
other
kick is
hand,
this?
was it the third quarter that I was watching?
Well, there was a kick at the end of the fourth quarter that the Steelers hit.
I know. I think I actually fell asleep a little bit during the game.
Did you? So how do you know? So you can't say Justin Fields didn't play well then if you didn't even see the whole game. He played great.
I watched like parts of it. It was good. I mean, I think honestly, oh yeah, that whole thing with Dave Berger and Gary, I didn't get it. He should just watch what he's saying.
Are you Team Gary or Team Brigham, Lane?
I think that I like Gary and Team Berger was really giving it to him. He was like yelling.
Who won? Who do you think won whatever points they were trying to make?
Gary? Okay, I have like IQ, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's up or low. So I can't really I'm telling you, but I think that did not make any sense what they were saying. I was like listening to it. And then Beastbreaker's thing went on and off, I think, his internet.
Yeah, Beast a big fan of yours, Lane.
Beastbreaker would won, actually, if he would have been on.
Now, Lane, are you just pacing around your house? Derek wants to know.
I'm just well, hey, it's been a long 2 months. I'm still getting over the past and death. So yeah, mom called you and
tell your mom we all say hello, all right?
Thank you. Oh, and what else has been going on? So I almost was gonna put on my shirt that you got me. The
almost go put it on.
Well, I'll put it on Sunday maybe during the game. I'll have it on.
All right, call into my post-game show on Sunday and ask me for old time's sake if I saw the game, okay?
Yeah, I was going to call it on Sunday. I guess there wasn't any time, I think, or the thing was full. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that the Giants also lost. They lost 6-21. They lost to the Washington Redskins. And some more news, why do you think that, did the Jets ever wear the away uniforms home or not?
Well, they've only had one game, so they wore the green jerseys, and they're home again this week, so they might be wearing it again.
Yeah. When are they going to pull out the black ones?
I'm not sure. We might be waiting a couple weeks.
Yeah, so then you play, they have every team that going into week 1. I think Thursday night is going to be, let me see, who's playing Thursday? I know Monday was, I forgot.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Bears, Vikings?
Yeah.
Did you watch the game?
I was really busy and stuff. Now, okay, the Yankees played last night.
The Yankees did not play last night. That is correct.
Yeah, I know they're starting a series now against the Tigers. Yeah.
What sound does a tiger make, Lane?
No, but I mean, and so yeah, I mean, I think that the Mets have to win tonight because I watched last night and they lost. Yeah. Yeah.
You said a lot. Good insight as always.
Yeah, and I think I have some more, and then you can, because I know you probably have at least one more, or the show's over after this. Yeah, I think that honestly that I think that the Jets are going to bounce back to make it 1-1 to start the season. After
you think the Jets are going to win Sunday?
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for taking my call.
All right, Lane. I hope you're right. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Maybe not even that much.
What do you guys need right now? I'm on the phone with some business people right now, associates. So please take a message and leave it at the beep.
Wait a second. You said you retired.
We're going live right now.
Tell that Gary guy what you really think of him, what you just told me.
Oh, and to Gary, next time you insult my little boy, you're gonna get one of these.
And a special message to Bobby Beasley.
Now, good luck to y'all. Good night. Woo!
Thank you, Beast. Beast is on the phone with his associates. The man who claims he's retired. Interesting. Spencer Green says, Beast, for the love of God, don't talk IQ, man. Sit this one out. Interesting. Michael is on the line. He's next. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Jake, how you doing? I just want to make a quick note. I know I spoke to you earlier this afternoon, but after watching the All 22 with Joe, which he did a phenomenal job, and God bless him for being a cop. Being a cop these days is not a good career move right now. My nephew's also NYPD, and but yeah, great service by Joe. My one note is that GoPro during practice, right, on Justin Fields looks like it's working out, right? It gives them another eye or another view on the quarterback side what he's looking at for his progression, because it seems like he was looking a lot faster through his progressions than he has in previous regimen as far as like Pittsburgh or with the Chicago Bears. And so I think that GS Pro might be something a lot of other teams might look into, because it's definitely looking good for Justin Fields.
I like the theory, Michael. Good call. I think it also could just be he's being coached properly. He's had terrible coaching outside of Tomlin last year. It's not like Arthur Smith's just like known offensive guru, and he wasn't running a system that is conducive to his strengths. We saw what their system was Sunday. It's RPOs, it's play action, starts with running the ball, get the linebackers or the safeties to bite, and then boom, you got a chance. Because Fields is obviously certainly capable of making big plays with his arm, but you have to respect his ability to run at all times. Look, if we find out it's because he has these GoPros on his helmet at practice, that's why, great. I think it's the fact that he's in his 5th year in the league now. He's been in a bunch of different systems. I think he's the best O-line he's ever played with. Like we saw that Sunday. He already has built-in chemistry with his number one receiver from college. And Gary, he even made Jeremy Ruckert look like a viable tight end for a day. Played with him in college, too. I didn't think Myers was bad at center. So, you know what? Go Bucks. Go Buckeyes. If Justin Fields is our guy, Ohio State is my official team I'm declaring for college football, because I want to win so bad. Luppy is up next. What's up, Luppy?
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Wow, this is why I love this show. That's why I love you. When we start out talking Jets, the good breakdown. Listen,
That was a rumble that I thought we'd get a rumble like that in like June or July. To get Prime, Briga, and Gary Tuesday of going into week 2. I mean, that you just never know what you're getting around here.
After getting a breakdown of a game, that was awesome.
A great breakdown of the game. You won't find that analysis anywhere else.
That's what I was trying to say. I was positive about Joe's takes. That's why I was trying to put a positive spin on his name. And then you guys took it the wrong way, but it's like I think
I knew you weren't
great
insulting
job,
him.
I
just had to bring up the fact that you opened the door for me to be able to ask him about his last name being Blewett.
Right. So that's all I did. I was just saying he didn't blow it because he's the opposite of what people were going to say about that name, that he did a great job of breaking everything down. And that's what I wanted to say. And then he throws a little shot at me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. This is good.
No, he has respect for you, Luppy. He respects the Lupp man.
I'm sure he does. That's just what I wanted to roll that off the shoulder. And then that is why I had Lane winning the whole thing. That call is classic Lane. And Lane, to your family, nothing but thoughts and prayers. We've all been through that. We all have loved ones. And we love Lane, and he's part of the family. And I just want to say that's why I voted for him, because that was some classic Lane there today. I mean, we get the Gary and the Briga, and then we get this. Just rolling through my day. And then now that Gary's in the hole, I just want to take you through my day. So I, woke up. Of course, I make sure to see what time you're on. And then I go do the laundry, taking care of my family. Then after the laundry, I start doing the dishes, and I'm on the Jake Gassman show. Then after the dishes, I clean up and I cook dinner for my family. And there's nothing wrong with supporting your family like we support the Jake Asman Show. And that's what I got to say.
Luppy, you're the man. Love your calls, my friend. The Lup Man. We got some super chats here. First from Robin. He's in the raffle for 2 with this $10 super chat. Robin Boy Wonders. He says, Jake, one important fact that Gary seems to ignore is IQ tests were about potential intelligence, not actual intelligence, as was on display when Mr. Brigga schooled him. Put me in the raffle. I will put you in the raffle. You are in for 2.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Thank you. C says, what's the worst Jets jersey I own? I'll go first. Mine's D. Milner. That's a bad one. I mean, I've had some brutal ones, man. I mean, Zach Wilson, Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Adams, Muhammad Wilkerson. I have a Mike White jersey, and by the time it arrived, he got hurt and was done. So I never even got to wear that jersey. I have some. I mean, that's like a fun jersey to have. What other jerseys do I have? Trying to think of the old jerseys. Some of these, like Jamal Adams, was obviously a very good Jet before it all went to, hell. I mean, I have like 3 Aaron Rodgers jerseys. I mean, I still like Aaron a lot, but obviously the last 2 years were a nightmare for all of us. Spencer Green with a super chat. This is why Gary is greatness, Jake. In the hole, and the meat muncher still sending chats talking about him. Elect the kick ass, Gary. Let's go, Beast. Jets by 1 million Sunday. Spencer is a very smart guy. He's in his final year at law school right now, and he spends his free time hyping up Gary and Beast. I love it. Craig says, good day, legend. I logged onto your show in the middle of the Brigga Gary Rumble at full volume and woke up the whole house. Hey, now. Amazing. Craig, you're the man. I will see you soon. All right. I know what we need to try and get things back on track. Let's bring in a guy that, if you've been a long-time viewer of the show, he's an OG. He hails from Vermont. Bob is his name, and he's up next.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Hi, Bob.
I want to tell you I'm Team Gary, A plus 100%. I'm Team Gary.
You're Team Gary?
Yes, Team Gary. I am Team Gary.
How come?
Because I like Gary. Because I like Gary a lot. He's great.
What about Dave Brigga? You don't like Dave Brigga?
I like him. I do. But I'm Team Gary.
Doesn't sound like you really like him.
I like him. You know, let's drop it at that.
I don't know. You kind of hesitated there.
I do like Gary a lot, so that's why.
With Gary, you said you liked him a lot. With Brigga, you had to think about it.
Yeah, I have to think about it. Yes, I do. Yes.
So you like Dave Brigga?
Yeah, I like him. He's cool and all that. Yeah, I like him. But I like Gary better.
I see.
So, yeah, I
Nick
think,
Shine says you're a shell of your former self.
Well, I'm trying to be positive with Nick Shine. How you doing? How's work doing? I miss you, Nick Shine. Yeah, I think since I saw, our great quarterback, I think he's going to be a great quarterback for the Jets, Justin Fields, because he impressed me throwing the ball this weekend, and I think he could do it against the Bills. I give the Jets 80% of winning this week against those smelly Bills.
80%.
Yeah. And like yesterday, you said you went to the Bills game, right? And you didn't like the home field, what they did to everybody, right?
Yeah, I had a terrible experience with Bills fans in 2016.
You remember what they used to throw at Tom Brady?
Dildos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, how disrespectful can you be? Who cares about the Bill Mafia? My brother calls them, I forgot what he called them, but he does not like the Bills Mafia, but he calls them something else.
My brother calls them. I forgot what he calls them.
The poop mafia. I think he
Oh.
calls them the poop mafia. Yeah, I think the Jets have good. I think they're gonna win this weekend. I just feel it in my guts because I thought the Bills got lucky on Monday night. It was ridiculous. They were down. They got so lucky that game. They came back. But the Jets play good. Aaron Glenn, you can see a difference on, Salah sits on the sideline like a statue, right? When I thought he was coming over, I remember when he played for the defensive coach on the 49ers, remember? And I remember every time they made a good play, he would come out on the field and get into their faces and cheer them on. So I thought he was going to do that for the Jet players. He didn't do it. You saw that against the Heart. When Glenn gets excited, he gets excited. He compliments his players, You didn't see that.
You believe in Aaron Glenn?
Yes, I do. He has more positive attitude than the statuist. Oh, look at me. I'm Salah. Oh, let's see. How can we screw up this game? Yeah, that's how he.
Wow. You just used your David T voice there. We haven't heard that in a long time.
What David T voice? What are you talking about?
That voice you just did when you went, oh, look at me. That's the same voice you used.
Oh,
in this.
yeah. Salah.
Shut up, Dave.
I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You
I'm
fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
That was Christmas. Hi, David. I did apologize to you since I love you, David. You know.
Oh, Bobby, you don't worry about anything. I love you, buddy. You're terrific.
I'm sorry I did that on Christmas. I don't know.
No, jeez.
That was the 3-month period I had. I just had a bad 3. But I hate winter. Just say that I hate winter.
It's all in the rear view mirror, buddy.
Yeah, I love you, David T. You're great. But I just don't like Salah. He was a horrible coach. I like Glenn. He has more positive attitude, though. So, yeah, he's more.
Yeah, I tried to get on board with Coach Salah at first, and I thought he had the potential to really build a team, but it just seemed like he got to a certain point and never got any better.
And he gave up. I think Glenn's gonna help. I think we're gonna beat the Bills. 80% they're gonna beat.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
I think the Bills are gonna not do good this year. I hope.
Great call, Bobby Midnight. David T, since we brought you on, the floor is yours.
No, I just I wanted to agree with Luppy. Is it Luppy? The lane train. I'm always on the lane train. And I'm up here in beautiful PA, getting to the tail end of my vacation, sitting out on the back, and listening to your show. And if the Jets build a team this year, like I think they're gonna, my prediction is 8-9. If they accomplish that and they build a team moving forward, I mean, I have no doubt that your show is going to be 50,000 plus by the end of the year.
I'll tell you what, David, from your lips to God's ears.
Thank you, Jake. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a shame that we lost the first game, but can we put a team, on the field that's capable of beating the Bills? I believe so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great David T.
Ready! First of all, let's get the position. Goal line ready! Get ready! Into the goal line! Get ready! Blue! 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 63! Blue! 63! Get ready! 6, 6, 3, 3, 3! Oh. when you got to fart, you got to fart.
You just ripped ass. You're no better than Gorman.
At least I'm 10 times sexier than Gorman. That's a guarantee.
That was one of my favorites. All right, home stretch of the show here. We got a raffle coming up, excuse me, for a Jets jersey of your choosing. I think we only have 6 members that have been added. So far, 7 now. So very good chance for you to win today if you haven't entered the raffle yet. And if you missed it, these are the top prizes for next week's Asmaniac raffle. Justin Fields signed jersey, Jermaine Johnson signed jersey, and a Sauce Gardner signed jersey. Let's go. Real quick, by the way, Beast, I know you called someone a donkey head earlier. Is that because you previously were a donkey? This was just sent to me by someone who apparently knows you. Hold on. There it is. Is that a real photo? Beast, what's the deal? What's the deal here? Is that you?
Nope. Sorry. Nice try. Not going to work here, sucker. Take that picture, shove it somewhere else.
You can't win.
Bullshit.
Thank you, Beast. All right. Today's closer, Jetaholic, and then we'll get the raffle going. So last chance to get in. What's up, Jetaholic?
Let's go, man. How do I top that? Those are 3 of the goats right there before me.
Look, just be you, Jetaholic. I believe in you.
No, I know. So I was at the game. It was a hell of a time. It was awesome. The weather worked out. Of course, everything was great except the final result. But,
I've said that a million times about a Jet experience.
I guess you can say same old Jets, but it was same old Jets, but in different fashion. Yes, the way they lost the game was definitely same old Jets, but when's the last time our offense looked that good and that efficient? Like, I'm trying to be a little positive, but also be real. Like, can we duplicate it? I hope so. I thought Fields looked really good. Breece looked really good. Like, he looked like the old Breece. The O-line was dominating. The D-line was dominating. And then I don't know if you've seen Gibson's presser after the game. Did you see that?
Did I see his presser after the game? I did not. Actually, you know what? Did I see it? I saw some of the quotes from it. I didn't see the whole thing.
So if you watch him, he had a smirk on his face, like he thought it was funny. Like, you should not be laughing. You just costed the team the game. Like, my opinion, like, he should be gone. Like, there's no reason to be
careful
smiling.
with that. Like some guys just like it's like a nervous energy thing. Like, I don't think he's actually happy that he fumbled. Like he said it was like
okay, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't like that, but yeah, you're right. I don't think about it like that. It could be like
Aroldis Chapman was smiling after he gave up the walk-off bomb to Altuve in 2019. Like, I don't think he was happy he did that, you know?
And then, like, oh my God, Jalen Ramsey is so dirty. I don't know if you've seen the highlights after the game and some of the hits and the things he was saying on the field. Like, I can't stand him.
I mean, I never liked him, so it's unfortunate that I mean, to his credit, he made a great play at the end there, but it sucks that that was the last play of the game.
And there was just one more point I wanted to make. Like, I don't understand the whole Lazard thing. Like, look, I know he makes drops, but like, I mean, if we're being real, he's better than the bottom of the roster wide receivers we have right now. Like, he's at least produced at a decent level. Like, I feel like they need to have him out there just for like his size and his experience. Like, because after Garrett, like, yeah, Reynolds, they're not really using Smith yet. Tyler Johnson, I don't know what the point of him even being out there is. Like, at least as long as Lazard will catch the ball, he's going to give you something. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Tyler Johnson made a really nice play on that one play that we showed on film before.
Yeah,
I don't want Lazard on the team. I don't want Lazard out there. They didn't drop a ball, and I think it had everything to do with the fact that Lazard wasn't active. I'm good on Alan Lazard. He could go to Pittsburgh now that the game has happened.
No, I get it. I don't love Lazard. It's just he has had good games. That's my thing. But
with only Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, he's never had a good game in his life without Rodgers. I'm good.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Anyways, thanks for the time, Jake.
Jetaholic, thank you. And Josh Reynolds does exactly what Lazard does. You need a good blocking receiver. Like, they say Lazard's this great blocker. I think I don't. Here's my take on Lazard. He's not actually as good of a blocker as what people say. They say he's a good blocker because he's not good at anything else. So it's like, oh, he's a good blocker. Is he though? I guess. I think Reynolds is just as good, if not better. Bobby Midnight, who's doing a show after this. There's your plug, Bob. He gifted a channel membership. He's in the raffle for one. Cheeseman says, raffle me. I got you in, Cheeseman. Is that a government name like Gary 3D Boxing is? Mike Perez says, hate Bills fans. They're horrible people. I know this firsthand. I've been dating one for 5 years. Sunday, she's the enemy. Do you think your wife should be allowed to vote, Mike? Just kidding. My name's not Gary. Of course you should be. Roster Dread, gifting 1. Roster Dread, gifting 2. He's in. Has a chance to win a jersey twice with these. Daz in the UK. Fields was good. Defense were poor. Beast reads the book or more men. Happy with coaching. God. Daz. You and Beast got to get on the same page. Human Fun gifting a membership. He's in the raffle. Thank you, Human Fun. Eli also in the raffle. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Beast a chance to respond to Daz, and then we'll spin the wheel.
Yeah, it is.
I was doing a little something called business associations there, please. But that guy that you saw, that's a statement right there. That's a statement. We will succeed Sunday. You can bet your sorry ass what we're going to do. We're going to pick up the Bills, toss them in the dump, pick them up again, into the dump. And then fourth quarter, when it comes to the heavy lifting, their asses are going right back in the trash, but in a deeper pile, in the pile high.
Yeah, it is.
What the hell is that? I'd rather be Sylvester Stallone than that. That's a little insulting in my view.
You're a crane. Gator said you're strong like a crane.
Hey, they don't make men like they used to on this planet. Let's get the facts straight. I've played football. I've played basketball. I've played hockey. I've played soccer. I've played baseball. I enjoyed those most. But there's
What about field hockey, Beast? Have you played field hockey?
Yeah, I played field hockey. I've loved it for years. But I'll tell you this about field hockey: getting banged up on the boards, that's tough. Getting your ribs rocked in and getting your face punched in and getting knocked on your ass, that takes a man's beating every single game. But I'll tell
Yeah, it is.
I have a funny feeling that one's going to be played a lot around here. Gator, thank you. Beast, great job. I have all the raffle names, so I am in the process of copying and pasting them into the Wheel of Champions, which I now have done. I'd be remiss if we didn't shout out the Kyle Clifton. He says, then I'm in. Kyle, you are in. For 5, good luck. Jaden, I see your super chat. Bobby Midnight is back. Yes, great calls from Bobby today. Okay. You're ready. I'm ready. We're all ready to spin the Wheel of Champions, which we're doing right now.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, folks. Someone's going to win. And if you do win, you have to email me. My email is asmanjake@gmail.com. If you win, you tell me the size of the jersey for which player you want and the color. And once again, your jersey options are Quincy Williams, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Justin Fields. Those are your options. Only one Asmaniac can win. If you don't win, you're entered in our weekly raffle automatically. So you still have a chance to win a prize on the show. With that said, good luck to everyone. Thanks again to everyone who supports these things. Let's shuffle the names, and here we go. The winner is no way. Second day in a row. Purple Belt Mike has won a jersey. Unbelievable. This guy tears his ACL and no one's ever been luckier since. He made some sort of like deal with the devil. Purple Belt Mike is the winner of a Jets jersey of his choosing. Yesterday, since he already won a Justin Fields jersey on the show, he chose Garrett Wilson. What will PBM choose today? Unreal. Maybe his wife can get a jersey.
Purple belt wife, she's the Dark Knight. She has a lazy husband who forgets to clean potatoes. Maybe someday she'll get some help, but not for now. She's just a purple belt wife. Purple belt wife. She might not be purple, but she can kick her husband's ass.
Amazing. Congrats, Mike. Unreal. PBM, my wife wants a jersey. Chelsea, you're getting a jersey. Mike, shoot me a message, which one and the size, and we'll get that ordered after the show tonight. All right. That does it for me. Thank you all. Thank you to Joe Blewett. He was awesome. Obviously, he has a real job, way more important than breaking down film. He's a police officer. So when he's available to come on, we're going to have him on as much as possible. So hopefully next week. On that note, I am out of time. We're back tomorrow. Nick Shine at 10 a.m. Afternoon show features Jeff Parles at 4 p.m. Let's go, baby. Jets football. We're on to Wednesday, which means that we'll hear from Aaron Glenn and some of the players for the first time at the start of the new week. Oh, hold on. Are we getting a PBW call? She'll call in tomorrow. Let's save it for tomorrow. I like that idea. PBW call tomorrow. All right. We got to give you guys the feeling of wanting more. If we give it to all of you now, you know, are you going to tune in tomorrow? You probably will, but are you? I don't know. I'll tell you what. I can't give you PBW, but I can give you two things I will play back to back that I believe will make you laugh. All right. I think that's a fair trade-off. But all that I ask before I play these two clips is 1, hit the like button if you haven't. 2, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And 3, join my Patreon if you haven't. The show, the Patreon users are the lifeline of what we do. Get in our Discord and continue to be an Asmaniac. On that note, here's the first of 2 clips that I promise you'll laugh. Enjoy.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know, women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
Yes, it's quite.
Yeah, it is.
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.